You get a call from your manager. They want to talk about your performance. You walk into that office, heart pounding a little, and they tell you, "We're giving you a $5,000 raise. Congratulations." You leave that room feeling amazing. You text your partner. You're thinking about what you'll do with that extra money. Maybe upgrade your car. Maybe finally take that vacation. Maybe just breathe a little easier. 3 months later, you look at your bank account and nothing changed. You're not saving more. You're not less stressed. If anything, you're spending more than before. What happened? My name is Dave, and I spend way too much time thinking about why raises don't actually make us richer. This video is for anyone who's gotten a raise and wondered why their life didn't change. It's for people who work hard, get promoted, earn more money, but somehow still feel broke. If that's you, and if this video helps you see something you've been missing, go ahead and subscribe. And if you get value from this, give it a like, not because I'm begging, but because it genuinely helps more people find this information. Now let me explain the trap with a simple cartoon. Imagine there's a video game. In this game, you're a character trying to climb a mountain. The higher you climb, the more coins you earn. Sound good, right? So you start at the bottom earning 10 coins per day. You work hard, you level up, and boom, now you're earning 15 coins per day. You feel rich. You feel successful. But here's what the game doesn't tell you. Every time you level up and earn more coins, the mountain gets taller. And the gear you need to keep climbing gets more expensive. When you were earning 10 coins, your climbing boots cost 2 coins. But now that you're earning 15 coins, those same boots cost 4 coins. Your tent used to cost 3 coins, now it's 6. The food you need? Used to be 1 coin, now it's 2. You're earning 50% more coins, but everything costs twice as much. So even though your coin count went up, you're not actually richer. In fact, you might be falling behind because you're working harder just to afford the basics of staying in the game. That's the salary trap. Now you might be thinking, okay, Dave, but that's just a game. Real life doesn't work that way. Actually, it does. And it's way more common than you think. Let me break down what happens in real numbers. Let's say you're making $60,000 a year. You live in a decent apartment for $1,200 a month. You drive a reliable used car with a $300 payment. You eat out occasionally, you have some subscriptions, you save a little. Life is fine. Not amazing, but manageable. Then you get promoted. Suddenly, you're making $75,000. That's $15,000 more per year. You're excited because that's over $1,000 extra per month after taxes. But watch what happens. Within 6 months, you've moved to a nicer apartment because I can afford it now. Rent jumps to $1,600. You trade in your reliable car for something newer because I deserve it after this promotion. Payment goes to $500. You start eating out more because you're busier and you feel like you've earned it. You add a few more subscriptions. Maybe you upgrade your phone plan. Before you know it, that extra $1,000 a month? Gone. And you're not saving any more than you were before. This isn't theoretical. A study from the Federal Reserve found that households earning between $50,000 and $100,000 typically increase their spending by about 80 to 90% of any income increase within the first year. Think about that. You get $10,000 more in income, and you end up spending $8,000 to $9,000 of it. The trap isn't that you're irresponsible. The trap is that your lifestyle quietly expands to match your income. So why does this happen? Why do smart people fall into this trap over and over? Here's the thing. It's not about intelligence. It's about psychology. First, there's something called lifestyle creep. That's when your standard of living slowly rises without you really noticing. You don't wake up one day and say, I'm going to blow all my raise on unnecessary stuff. It just happens gradually. You justify each decision individually. It's only $50 more per month for the nicer gym. The new apartment is only $400 more, and it's so much better. This car is more reliable, so I'm actually being smart. Each choice seems reasonable, but together, they eat your entire raise. Second, there's the psychological shift that happens when you earn more. You start comparing yourself to people who earn similar amounts. When you made $60,000, you compared yourself to other people making $60,000. But now at $75,000, You're unconsciously looking at people making $75,000 to $100,000. And guess what? They have nicer stuff. They live in better neighborhoods. They take better vacations. So you feel like you need to catch up. You feel like your old lifestyle doesn't match your new salary. Third, and this is sneaky, society tells you that your worth is tied to what you can afford. Better job means better car. Higher salary means nicer apartment. More money means more stuff. That's the message everywhere you look. Look, nobody sits you down and teaches you that your lifestyle should stay flat, even when your income goes up. In fact, the entire economy is designed to encourage you to spend more when you earn more. Credit card limits increase. You get targeted ads for luxury items. Even your friends might expect you to treat yourself. Here's something that might shock you. A recent survey found that almost 50% of people earning $100,000 or more annually live paycheck to paycheck. And it gets worse. A 2025 Goldman Sachs report showed that 40% of households earning $500,000 or more still felt like they were living paycheck to paycheck. How is that even possible? The answer lies in something psychologists call the hedonic treadmill. According to this theory, as a person makes more money, expectations and desires rise in tandem, which results in no permanent gain in happiness. Basically, you're running faster but staying in the same place. Let me show you how this plays out with a real example. Picture someone we'll call Sarah. This is a composite of patterns researchers have documented across thousands of people. Sarah graduated college, making $45,000. She lived with 2 roommates, drove an old Honda, packed lunches, and saved about $400 a month. Not much, but she was building something. 5 years later, Sarah's career took off. She was making $85,000, nearly double her starting salary. She felt like she'd made it. So she got her own apartment in a trendy neighborhood. Rent jumped from $500 to $1,600. She bought a new SUV because she needed something safe and reliable. Payments went from $0 to $500. Started ordering lunch at work because she was too busy to pack. Food costs doubled from $300 to $600. Upgraded her wardrobe for her new position. Took weekend trips because she'd been working so hard. At the end of the year, Sarah looked at her savings account and had less than when she was making $45,000. This matches what research shows. Financial experts note that the problem arises when you only spend more and you don't save more at the same time. And studies indicate that lifestyle creep occurs when spending rises as income increases, often without intentional planning. What makes this trap so effective is the psychology behind it. Research on the hedonic treadmill suggests you often return to how you felt before a purchase. That is, until you settle on a new thing to make you feel happy and the cycle begins again. Sarah wasn't dumb. She wasn't reckless. Each decision made sense individually. But together, they ate her entire raise and then some. The painful part? Sarah felt like she was finally doing well financially. The bank account told a different story. This is the trap. Feeling rich while becoming more financially vulnerable. All right, so how do you avoid this trap? I'm not going to tell you to never enjoy your money. I'm not saying live like a monk while your income grows. But I'm going to share a few mindset shifts that make all the difference. First, when you get a raise, decide what to do with it before you see the money. Seriously, before that first bigger paycheck hits, decide, I'm going to save 50% of this increase and enjoy 50%. Or I'm going to invest 70% and lifestyle up with 30%. The exact split doesn't matter as much as having a plan before the money arrives. Because once it's in your account, it disappears into your regular spending without you even noticing. Second, ask yourself a simple question before any lifestyle upgrade. Am I buying this because I genuinely want it or because I think I'm supposed to want it? That question alone will save you thousands. Because most lifestyle creep isn't about what you actually value. It's about living up to an image of what someone at your income level should have. And that's exhausting and expensive. Third, remember that your old lifestyle wasn't a punishment. When you made less money, you survived. You probably weren't miserable. You had a life. So when you get a raise, you don't suddenly need a whole new life. You can choose to keep most of your old lifestyle and bank the difference. That's not deprivation. That's freedom. The salary trap is cruel because it makes you feel like you're winning while you're actually standing still. You get the promotion. You get the title. You get the raise. Everyone congratulates you. You feel successful. But financially, nothing changed. You're not building wealth. You're not getting ahead. You're just spending more money on a slightly fancier version of the same life. And here's what really keeps me up at night. Most people don't realize they're in the trap until decades later. They look back at their career and think, I went from making $40,000 to $120,000. Where did all that money go? And the answer is, it went to a nicer car that still gets you to work, a bigger apartment that you're still rarely home to enjoy, restaurants that taste good but don't actually make you happier, stuff that seemed important at the time but didn't move the needle. I'm not saying those things are evil. I'm saying they're distractions from what actually build financial security, keeping the gap between what you earn and what you spend as wide as possible. Because the real wealth isn't in your salary. It's in the gap. Look, the system wants you in this trap. It needs you in this trap. The entire economy runs on people spending more when they earn more. But you don't have to play that game. You can get raises and actually get richer. You can earn more and build wealth. You just have to do the one thing that feels unnatural. Keep living like you make less than you do. Start small. Next time you get any extra money, a bonus, a raise, a tax refund, try this. Act like it never happened. Pretend it's not there. See if your life actually gets worse. I'm betting it won't. And that money, it'll quietly compound in the background while you live your life. Share this video with someone who just got a raise, or someone who's stuck wondering why more money didn't solve their problems. Even if you already knew this stuff, someone in your life needs to hear it. Now, there's another piece to this puzzle. Because even if you avoid the salary trap and start saving, there's a place most people put that money that feels safe but might actually be another trap. The index fund trap. And it's not what you think. That's what I want to break down next. How something everyone says is safe and smart might be quietly working against you. It's subtle, most people miss it, and it connects directly to everything we just talked about. Hit subscribe if you want to see that breakdown. Give this video a thumbs up if it made you think differently. And seriously, share it. Financial education shouldn't be a secret. I'll see you in the next one.